He said, what are you guys going to do? And I said, we have nothing. And he said, you know this is going to bomb. And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'm serious. You're going to bomb. And as of this moment, right now, no lie, at 2 minutes into the show on Emmy night, we have absolutely nothing for you.
This is Making the Merge.
We can very well win this thing.
I'm a dog person now.
Line them up, let's knock them down.
You told me your dog was sick. I'd say, I'm coming over.
You know, I crack open a coconut and they didn't cheer for me.
You're either in Survivor or you're not.
It's not about the $1 million. All I want to do is win 1 million hearts.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest award show of all time, the one and only, the one and all, the everybody's favorite award show of Survivor, the Making the Merge Mergy Awards.
The one and only, the one and all, the Mergy Awards. We're here, everybody, to crown some new winners.
Let me give some backstory to that Jeff opener. That was a clip of him talking about the Emmys. Apparently, whenever they did the first ever reality host category, all of the hosts came up and they they were supposed to do some sort of bit, but they didn't have any bit planned. So that was him talking about not knowing what they were going to do. And I felt like that today because I realized we were recording tonight and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I got that text to the group, and I thought, that's more of a me move, I think.
Yes, that was a very Jonathan move.
I'm sure you guys talked about it and explained it in detail last week when I was on vacation, and I was only half paying attention to the group chat.
Well, we honestly may have not talked about it because I think we all just knew the Mergies. Well, we talked about they were on their way here and that there were categories.
So I thought we were doing the Mergies tonight, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Well, we are. And in a sense, yes. We're announcing the nominees, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So my understanding, I thought it was already happened. Like I thought we already did the nominees. So this is how out of the loop I've been, guys.
So you don't look at our Instagram page? Is that what?
No, guys. No, I'm an old man. I'm not Jonathan. And so I appreciate you saying that. No, but then I did realize, I was like, I don't feel like I've seen anything about it. And I feel like I would have, and I know we're recording tonight. And so that's where I was at.
Gotcha. I was like, wow, Bran has no concept of what the Mergy Awards even are. So I hope he has his picks ready.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
How are we starting this thing?
Well, we could get into the awards, or we could delay it a little bit longer and have Bran read some Bhanu.
Oh, that's right. Guys,
I got to be honest with you. There's a lot here tonight. So
I might have gone a little overboard.
You went a little overboard, but I missed last week. So
yeah, so it's like his double punishment for missing last week.
All right. So again, I'm reading this because I lost. That's right?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. All right, here we go. I know I have it in me. I can do this. So moving forward, how can I ensure my position is strong within the tribe? I just don't understand. Why me? I'm giving my blood, sweat, and tears to my tribe, and the result outcome is this? Just because I'm a little emotional doesn't mean you guys vote me out. I'm very nervous because Jess and I just started talking strategy, and I don't think she's going to stick to the plan to blindside Kenzie. Spoiler alert, she did not.
It's got to be the worst.
I'm still on the island, so namaste to that.
Are you sure you're allowed to say that, Bran?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, guys. But I could be the next person going home because Kenzie, Q, and Tiffany are pulling all their master tricks. They played it in such a way that Jess plays the fake hidden immunity idol rather than the shot in the dark, and she writes a name. Guess whose name she wrote? Jess said that I'm her best friend, and she wrote my name down. Ha 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 ha! Survivor it is! Bhanu starts crying. They're saying like, oh, You don't have to give honest answers to Jeff Probst. You can just give him any kind of crap, but I can't do that. They said you should know when to, what is it? When to shot something like that. I don't know what that proverb something fold. You have to know when to hold, when to fold. I'm not an actor. I can't do that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It was raining all night. I didn't sleep a wink, and I'm paranoid because all three of them are in a tight alliance. And if we don't win the next immunity challenge, I'm going home. They have so many tricks up their hats. I've been looking for the idol pretty much the whole time. I've been on the island, don't have any luck. I'm going to turn all these coconuts upside down. I don't know. This is so frustrating. Bhanu starts crying. I want to play the game, and I'm hitting a wall all the time. Do I got to do the next part, too?
I mean, are you getting a little bit tired of it, Bran? Is that what you're saying?
It's so much, PD.
Let's save the other
Sounds
half
like
for the
you
end.
should have drafted better.
Chase,
you know?
actually, I figured this was going to happen. I figured Bran was going to get Bhanu overload, so I brought in some backup. Mother Mary, please take it away.
Always sweet Kenzie. How she portrays herself. She's like this mermaid? Dragon. Mermaid up until here, but she's hiding under the rocks. She's like a very beautiful, sweet, kind mermaid. But when you look behind the rock, it's a big dragon tail. That's Kenzie. I said, hey, can I work with you? And she's like, yeah, I'll work with you, but you have to tell me the plan. If you have a plan, let me know and we can work on it. Mermaid, dragon. Remember that.
Thank you, Mother Mary, for that excellent reading of Bhanu.
Whoa.
It's like layers to this show, you know?
Yeah, if you are just now joining this show, that was Mary from season 48 of Survivor reading some of the confessionals from Bhanu, who was on Survivor 46.
And I specifically got Mary to read my favorite part, which was the mermaid dragon.
Mermaid? Dragon.
Wow.
You know what I love is that she can't do, like, press. And so our workaround is, hey, will you just read Bhanu quotes? That'll show them.
What we're going to have to end up doing is basically telling her, like, hey, if you had to summarize your experience only in Bhanu quotes, what would you say? You know,
I DM'd her and I said, hey, I've got another bit. Like, do you want to read Bhanu?
And she was like, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, she's met Bhanu yet.
I bet she. Or I don't know. I don't know if Bhanu's like hanging around.
Yeah, I don't know if
seen
he's in
any pictures of him.
Yeah.
But guys, it is time for the moment that everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's favorite part of the Mergies. Let's start talking about these awards, baby.
Woo,
so the way that this is going to work is I'm gonna pitch up each of the 8 categories that we will be offering up our suggestions for who could win, right? And then we'll be putting up the graphics on the Instagram. You guys will vote for the winner, and that is who will win the Mergy. But let's just start. Let's start with an easy one. Let's start with a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear the nominees for the Making the Merge Villain Award. Who is the villain of season 48?
What's the order going to be? Are you just going to randomly decide, Chase?
Yeah, I'll be the puppet master. I'll decide who gets to go win. Let's hear PD's nominee.
All right. I've got to go with the one, the only, the person whose name we mispronounced for the first episode. Say. It's got to be Say.
Nice. Yeah, it's a great nomination.
I mean, she's still a villain to Mary.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. She's a villain in my heart.
We'll see
Jonathan.
how she. What? Oh, me. Oh, okay. We'll see. Okay, I was gonna say.
I think we all wrote down Say.
Yeah, we all wrote down.
So then Kristen and I, we sat and we walked through this list together. And Kristen was like, if Say said first, we have to say Thomas because I said he was a villain, and I was like, all right, that's fine. So we're going with Thomas because he was being sneaky.
That's a good nomination.
But he was gone. He was gone fast.
I also wrote down Thomas as my second because he's the only one who had literally a villain laugh at one point.
Yeah.
And a black eye.
Yeah.
And a black eye. But I did have a third.
Okay,
for
let's
what
hear
it's
it.
worth. This is a little bit of a tricky one. I am going to nominate Camilla for this.
Whoa.
Interesting.
The reason being, there's a twofold reason. One, she is, and I think we would all agree with this, she is the mastermind of the one and only move this season.
Yeah.
And two, she is the one who on a repeated basis. What would you say there?
You're right there.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah, I think that was
She would
right.
repeatedly say how much she wants to run.
I think there are some people left on the board that are much better choices.
But she would repeatedly talk about how much she wants to run people over with the bus.
Yeah.
And back it up.
Yeah.
Something that a villain would do. So I will nominate Camilla.
That's you know what? That's an out there nomination. I think it's a solid one considering the other two got taken. Guys, my nominee for the Villain Award, Charity.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the one.
You know, because of the Trump video.
I forgot about her.
No, and
I
not
forgot
just
all
because
about
of
her.
that, because she went after Eva after the moment with with Joe and the challenge and all that.
I think a lot of people see her as a hero because of that.
Some people do, but they see her as a hero because they hate Eva.
Right,
So-
which is crazy to me.
It kind of adjusted as the season went. At first, people were like, "Ew, Charity," and then by the end, everyone was like, "Okay, maybe we want her to be right."
She would have spiced things up. She would have been good for the season, but still a villain, I think.
But there was a snub here, Mitch, for not making a move.
I almost said Mitch, but I thought he's just gonna get taken.
I'm sure Mitch will get something later. All right, so our nominees for the Villain Awards are Charity, Camilla, and what was the other one?
You said it.
I already said Charity.
Thomas.
Thomas.
It was me.
Thomas.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Thomas.
All right, let's move on. The next category. Let's hear the nominees for the MVP award. Now, there is an asterisk on this one. This is not the MVP, the most valuable player of the season. This is the MVP of our show. So which player on the season 48 of Survivor was our most valued player?
I forgot that stipulation. I'm recalculating everything right now.
I literally reminded you not an hour and a half ago.
Well, the
I didn't
award
read
is it's literally called Making the Merge MVP. So.
Yeah. I mean,
for context, last season, I believe it went to Andy because he got so many views on TikTok.
Yep.
Well, and just because people loved him. And then the Villain Award was won by Rome, and he was the only person nominated. We did Rome 4 times.
That's understandable.
yeah, it was rough.
Who's going first, Chase?
Bran, let's hear your nominee.
I am nominating the person who has found their way around guidelines of press.
Yep.
You heard from her already tonight. I'm going with Mary. Nobody has been more supportive of our program
100%.
than Mother Mary. She has left us a nice review on Apple Podcasts. She has sent in multiple recordings. Granted, the first time we had to pay for it. But hey, there's nothing against that. And so I am going with Mary. I think she, to me, is not only the MVP of the season, the person who I enjoyed the most just watching, but also has been the most supportive of our show. So shout out Mary.
Great nomination.
It's such a good nomination. It's hard to think of another, you know.
I've got one.
Okay, go.
All right.
I'll go ahead and go next then. I'm going to nominate David.
Yeah, good answer, good answer.
Okay.
Hear me out. We had some banger clips of us making fun of David throughout the season.
I mean, he stood up. I don't know what you want.
I mean, the stood up. But also, we had a video absolutely pop off, skyrocket right at the end of the season when Bran made a song that heavily featured David in the clip.
So in a sense,
you were also part of the MVP.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it, but I just I appreciate it. Thank you.
So you, Mary, and David would be sharing it if either of them won.
Really, it's a win-win-win for your boy Bran here.
Yeah, for sure. Jonathan, what's your nomination?
I think he brought a lot to the dynamic that ended up being discussed in clips that went big, and that's Joe. I'm going to nominate Joe, and I think maybe it's because I got to sing Big Bro Club and got to be on Rob Has a Podcast because of him. But
nice.
I just think
the Making the Merge podcast.
Shout out, Rob.
Shout out, Rob.
I thought Joe brought a lot to the clip world, and kind of whether it was him directly or just something that he had caused that other people were involved in.
Guys, I've come up with a nickname for Rob from Rob Has a Podcast. We should call him the Amazonian Horn Dog.
Whoa. You can call him that all you want. I don't think I'll be participating.
That was a pretty iconic moment from the Amazon season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I might call him that.
My Making the Merge MVP award pick.
Hey, did I say it was your turn?
The Making the Merge podcast.
Hey, it's the Horn Dog.
I know that Horn Dog voice anywhere.
Yes, now it's PD's turn.
Okay. I have an important decision to make, and that is I can't believe Star's still left out, so I have to put Star on there. Yeah. Talk about views. Star updates and Star walking up with a coconut being like, hey, listen to me. Those two things were huge for our show.
Oh, you guys don't want to listen to me? All right.
Honorable mention goes to the Carolina Reaper.
And Eva.
Cedric.
Eva was a big time.
And Eva.
Star
and
for
Chrissy is speaking.
Definitely.
We should make a new category next time, which is the best bit from the season.
I agree. Best ongoing bit.
Yeah.
And apparently also we need best song. Who knew this was going to turn into a musical
best
podcast?
Original song.
Hey, we can't guarantee that's going to happen for 49, so don't get your hopes up.
That's
the
true.
Making the Merge podcast.
All right, guys. Our next category, the Game Changer Award. You were nominating a moment from this season that changed the game.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with PD.
Okay, I'm going to go with Camilla convincing Joe that Shaheen had an idol and that he showed it to her with the beads because she wasn't really believing Kyle, and that was really the move that flipped the game in Kyle and Camilla's favor and then ultimately Kyle's favor. But Camilla put it in motion, so I'm going to give the nomination to her.
Nice. Jonathan, let's hear yours.
I'm so torn between two right now because I had two options, but I find that Camilla giving the nod to Kyle about their move in Tribal is probably the biggest thing to happen in the season because our boy wasn't going to say anything, and she looked at him and she wingmanned him right into $1 million.
That's a great one, Jonathan.
So, Bran, what's your Camilla move of the season?
I'm not doing Camilla. I'm actually, there's one that is like obvious, but it's not the one that I wrote down. And so now I'm conflicted. I mean, obviously, the Joe Eva moment is a pretty big moment in the game of the season. Like no moment got as much press as that moment. Even the last episode, the winner, who cares? We had that one big moment, and it kind of, I think a lot of us at the time were like, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out with how the rest of the Survivor crew handles Joe now. And now that this is out there that Joe and Eva have this alliance. I'm not going to go with that one, though. I'm going to go with Milk being at the reward for David.
That's not how this award works.
I think it is.
That was a production choice. It's not a move a player made.
PD. I don't
feel
think
like it is a moment.
This was a huge moment in the game.
Yeah, it wasn't best moment of the show. I'm just trying to explain the category to you.
I got it, bud.
Just go with your first thing you said. Go with the first thing you said.
I like the milk option.
I will go with the first one.
This is like definitely Bran learned about what this is at 7:00, and that's why he went with. They gave David milk.
David was up against it, and then he got milk.
Or what if it was Eva telling Joe, because she didn't have to do that, and then the reason he was able to comfort her in that moment was because she told him.
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's do that. Is that okay with you, Bran?
No, I mean, whatever. Just
he
maybe
really
put
wanted
milk,
the milk thing, guys.
Put milk on there just in case. Like this
we'll
was
add
just
it. We'll
in
add
case
it.
award.
We'll see if anyone votes for it.
Can't you see he worked hard for the milk pool?
No, I think the best move made by a player on the season was what they gave to David at the reward too. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense.
Okay, my nominee for the Game Changer Award, guys. You missed a pretty big one. One of the biggest moments of the season, but I think it's kind of forgotten because it was early on. Mary successfully using her shot in the dark.
Dang,
Wow.
dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Would have changed the game. If she had gone home at that point, we could have seen Say or Cedric in the finals.
She made it to the second to last episode because of that. So
Exactly.
I feel like there's one moment that I almost said that I feel like I'm kind of surprised none of y'all said, which is it's kind of one person, but Cedric having to be the single person to decide a vote.
That was an insane moment.
That is a moment, but
and that could come up in a different category.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
I also was going to do Mitch choosing to do nothing instead of making a move was kind of the biggest game-changing moment.
But that fits another category pretty well.
Yeah, it does. All right, guys, our next category, the Baby Comeback Award. This is the Season 48 player that you would like to see come back. This is very interesting this season because we will be seeing 2 of these people come back for Season 50.
Yeah, 3, so they're disqualified.
Oh, yeah, 3. Yeah, so they're disqualified. Let's hear from Jonathan.
Guys, I want Star back in the game.
Yes.
I want to see her.
Okay.
I want to see her actually get to play, and I want to see. I want to see more great moments from her.
Mm-hmm. And we get Star updates back.
That's what I'm saying. It's good for business.
Bran, what is your nominee?
Yeah, I said it during the season, and I'll stand by it. I want to see Thomas play again. I felt like we only got to see just a little bit of his game, and what we saw was really fun. And it's a shame that he got voted out as early as he did. I'd love to see Thomas back, so I'm going with Thomas.
Nice. I also put Thomas down, so I'll go with my backup nomination, which was Cedric. I would love to watch Cedric compete in challenges again.
It was Kristen and I debated hard about him in this category, and she was like, "Why would you put him?" And I was like, "I love him."
Yeah, me too.
Because I love him, Kristen. You don't understand.
You don't understand the connection.
I loved how angry he made me during challenges. I need it back. Yeah. So my pick would be, I would bring the milk from the reward challenge back. For
Thank you, Petey. I had that down as well. So thank you for bringing
You're
it
welcome.
up.
No, I would go with Mary. I'm surprised that she was the last pick in here because Mary, like, always great in confessionals.
Yeah, that makes sense. I knew someone would say it. That's why I didn't pick her because I didn't want to be having to be on my toes. But all great nominations. And instead, we'll get to see Joe and Kyle and Camilla.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to see.
I'm excited to see Camilla.
Yeah, I'm excited to see one of those 3.
And they can't hear us right now. They don't have their phones. We can talk so much trash.
I'm excited to see Joe.
Hey, Chase, talk about that thing that Joe possibly did in that news story.
Yeah, he's in Fiji. He can't hear you.
You can't.
The Big Mistake Award, the biggest mistake of the season. And we're going to start off with PD.
All right, the Big Mistake Award, otherwise known as the Q Award. I'm going to go with Star giving Eva her idol. She shouldn't have done it.
Wow.
Could have stayed in the game
Forgot
another
about
week.
that.
That's a big one.
And Charity said, no, don't do that. Go take it back. Or even though you gave it to her, go snatch it.
Jonathan, let's hear yours.
I, as my big mistake said, Chrissy opening her mouth at Tribal.
Man,
Because that went terribly when she decided to talk for once at Tribal, dude. What
I do kind of wish she went harder at Final Tribal, too, and just
How
kind of
would
did
she
the
have-
same thing.
Oh, I thought you were saying you wish she went harder at her own Tribal.
Oh, no, I
was like,
wish
dude,
she did
how?
that, too. Just nonstop.
Man.
Bran, your nominee.
I know that we said that we're not nominating people. I'm nominating Cedric for this award because literally everything and action that he
production
did
made
in
the
this
mistake?
game, I literally thought, well, that's a big mistake. From the votes to what happened in that famous tribal council with Mary to him participating and trying to climb up walls.
I am going to need you to pick one because it can't be 3 individual mistakes and then just Cedric. Because
I
people
feel like
would be a
Petey's
little
really
confused.
shooting you down, Bran.
I'm just letting Bran know how this works. It's his first time catching him up to speed, you know?
All right, give me one more second. Let me land.
Petey's
on
really waking up and busting your butt is what he's doing.
Well, while we're waiting on
doing a
Bran,
Cedric?
I'll give my nomination.
but no, he could easily pick one of the Cedric things.
Well, he said he needed a second.
No, he's not going to pick one of mine. He wouldn't do that.
What if I just picked all three?
Bro, I will pull a Joe on you, and I will shake you up.
I'm going to shake you, dude.
My nominee for the Big Mistake Award is Camilla telling Kyle that she would not take him to the final three.
That's a great answer.
I think you're wrong. I don't know if that. Because I think Kyle would have come to the same conclusion. I'm just saying. I think that was already kind of, they were both headed that way.
Look, can we just address something? I feel like I started this whole episode complimenting PD on his camera quality, but I do want to insult his attitude quality tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got a bad attitude tonight, PD.
Does it have anything to do with the Braves being under 500 again? I don't know.
I wish I knew what that meant, but I don't pay
I don't even know what that means.
Hey, okay, so
under 500 what? Fans? Got him.
Oh, good one, Chase. So
there's that attitude again. What's going on right now?
We have clearly defined categories, and then y'all throw out something, and I have to be like, "That's out of bounds." Sorry, let's keep it on.
Not we. Bran.
Okay, Bran. Sorry.
But somebody's gotta,
Hey, somebody's got to be the sheriff around here.
No, I'm saying someone's got to go out of bounds. Somebody's got to do it.
Okay.
Bran, what is your nominee?
I'm going to go with Cedric. Let's move on.
Cedric keeping Say over Justin, maybe?
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. I would say Cedric voting for Say twice and then deciding to keep her. Let's go with that.
That's good.
Cedric, man.
All right, guys, the next category is Funniest Castaway. We're going to start with Bran this time.
I got 3 names down.
I do too.
Please don't make PD crash out.
Are they people on this season of the show?
He's like
Bhanu and Andy are my two.
I wrote down John Mulaney. Weird.
I'll accept that one, actually.
Yeah. I'd love to see John Mulaney on Survivor. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna go with Mary, of course. Mary,
great,
so funny. On the show, off the show, it doesn't matter. Even before the season even started, her website, her shop, hilarious. Mary's the funniest.
Yeah, for sure.
Funniest cast member off the show. Like her online presence.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And her store, her mug, go to maryjeong.printify.me. Check all that out. My pick is Star. It's got to be Star.
Great.
Every time
Great
Star
pick.
told a story or answered a question at Tribal, it was always hilarious. So, Star for sure.
Look, guys, there's only one player that told a joke, and it was a knock-knock joke. And I'm going to say it's David.
David is a good pick for funniest.
All right.
Hey, guys.
Knock, knock. Who's that? Not me. Good job, guys.
See how much y'all are laughing? That's why he deserves the win.
Standing up and the thing with his girlfriend.
I did laugh maybe at him a lot.
He's a really good pick.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun stuff.
My nomination, because you guys took my main ones. Mary obviously was my number one. This person maybe wasn't intentionally funny, but God, was he hilarious. I'm going Cedric.
Dude, I had him too, man.
Yeah,
he was my second pick.
When he went on and on about how this was the challenge that he was going to win and then dropped immediately, gotta be the top 10 hardest I've laughed.
And the week when he was in our intro going, ah!
Ah!
All right. Next category, the Gone Too Soon Award. Yeah. So these are players that did not make the merge, and we wish that they had. And we're going to start with Jonathan.
Stephanie was first out, man. We didn't get to see her play. You know, I feel like that she would have been a pretty interesting player to watch. Kristen and I both agreed on that, and we agreed after Kristen reminded me that Stephanie was a person on the show. So, we'll go with her.
All right,
way to sell it at the end there. My pick for the Gone Too Soon award is a guy who tried to dive and didn't do it very well, had dislocated his shoulder. I think Kevin was gone too soon.
It's a great answer. He hurt his shoulder.
My shoulder.
Yeah.
Great answer. My nomination is going to be pizza. Justin.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like pizza was gone right on time.
Wait, so we just nominated the whole Vula tribe because I guess it was them getting picked off week by week.
Dang,
So it's kind of like
true.
Bran, your nomination?
Thomas didn't make it to merge, right?
He did not.
Nope.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
we're going Thomas.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to say Thomas for everything tonight. I love Thomas.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
Thomas would have been great.
Yeah,
I agree. I bet he would even win the fan poll. I think he could win this category.
Yeah, I agree.
And our winner last year was Annika, I think.
Oh, dang.
Oh, I can't believe she didn't make the merge. She's pretty memorable. Our next category and final category of the evening, the quote of the season. We're going to start with Bran.
Yeah, I had to think through a lot here, kind of moments that stuck out to me, and I think one of the most memorable moments for me of the season was Say chasing after Mary. Specifically when she says, and she's running. I found that scene to be so funny, and the delivery was great. So the quote is, and she's running, by Say. That's what I am nominating.
When we do the graphic for that one, can we have the picture of Say saying it? Because I feel like
sure.
Cedric was right there next to her, right?
I think so.
Yeah. She's talking to Cedric. Yeah.
All right, PD, your nominee.
All right, I'm going to be nominating my favorite player, Camilla, when she said, I need someone else's name out there. I'm doing it right now by throwing Charity under the bus, and I've been reversing that bus and running her over and over and over. That was the first time she said the bus thing, so that's what I'm nominating.
Jonathan, your nominee.
Well, I kind of had to come up with a quote that stuck out, and so I thought, what was said the most? And it's, we've got to make a move soon. And so I'm nominating
phenomenal.
Mitch in one of his 25 times in the season saying that.
That is phenomenal.
Mailman Mitch.
Oh, God. My nomination for quote of the season is knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Who's there? Not me.
I want to hear everybody's backups if you had backups written down.
My backup was this. I don't really know how to put that in quotation marks, but you guys
Glass shattering.
I just, the only other quote I could even think of was when it was more a quote that Mary put on her story because she thought Say said, I can smell you, but she said, I can see you. And that just has solidified its way into my brain.
Well, I thought of one from Mary when she said, I'm proud of myself for making the fire, but I feel like nobody gives an F about that in the new era.
Yeah, that's a good one. I also had a Mary quote as my backup, which was, I love you, Elio.
Oh, wow.
When she shouted out her boyfriend that ended up not working out.
Dang, Chase.
Dang me. I'm fully expecting Mary to shake you up real quick.
Dude, for sure.
Hey, that's her prerogative, brother.
The other one I had was for real, and it was when Cedric. It's just the sound of him going, ah! That's the quote. That's the quote.
Oh, man. Guys, that is the nominations for the Mergy Awards. You can go over to our Instagram, @SurvivorPod. Yes, we own that handle. And you can vote for who you want to win.
Oh, man, it's very exciting. You got to get on our Instagram, but there's a lot more people than there was last time we did this, so it's going to be crazy this time around.
Last year we had an outrageous amount of participation just with who was just for who was following then. So
I think we should do a Making the Merge Bit of the Year award. I think that's fun. Stone Cold. You got.
We could add it now. We could do it right now.
Add it.
Yeah.
Just add it. I like that because it's just there's so many fun moments. Chrissy
Bran,
is speaking.
Does me going with your idea make it better that I was giving you the Jonathan treatment earlier?
I didn't even realize that you were doing that.
Before we do our nominations, in case anybody needs a second to think, I do want to say, like last last year for the Mergies, we had about 100. We averaged 150 votes.
Okay.
Let's see if we can double that. Let's see if we can get 300.
Get on that Instagram if you're not already.
Yeah. All right, so a brand new category just for you guys. Our favorite running bit of the podcast this season. Let's start with Bran, since you're the one that came up with it. Let's hear it.
I do think I have a soft spot for the Chrissy is speaking drop.
Yeah.
I think it's I listen. Obviously, Chrissy is the one that made that. She sent it in.
Yeah.
I think it's a masterclass in it's one of the weirder things that we do around here.
Yeah.
The screaming at the end, all of it is wonderful to me. So I'm going to nominate.
Chrissy is speaking. Chrissy is speaking. Chrissy.
And it goes on for just a little bit too long.
It's just barely too long. Yeah.
I like that.
It's beautiful.
Jonathan, let's hear your nomination.
Dude, it's got to be the songs. Are you kidding me? It was just so fun. I just the two, well, I guess the three that I helped with over here. It was like I just had such a good time making them, and then the response afterwards was so fun.
Yeah, getting on RHAP, Rob has a podcast.
Dude, I mean, that was crazy. Then blindsiding y'all.
The Making the Merge podcast.
Then blindsiding y'all with Kristen's song out of just thin air, dude. That was
you
so
blindsided
fun.
us with every song, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, it was so fun to do those.
Yeah, dude,
and
I did
then
that
Bran, yours blew up like crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I did the Katy Perry one to begin with that started an avalanche of then Jonathan went way overboard and then Bran hit a grand slam.
Dude, just
nailed
nailed
it.
it.
That one that I did was pretty good.
Dude,
The
Chase,
one that's on the
hold
Patreon.
Hold on. We're going to pause for a second. Chase, Kristen and I listened to that one together for the first time, and we both were like, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he bring it to the show?
Well, that was the week that you did Big Bro Club.
But you should have still done it. It was so fun.
It's okay.
Listen, we got our 40 patrons. We're
Mitch
good.
is the devil.
Yeah.
If you want to hear the song, you can join the Patreon. It's behind a paywall because
That's right.
It's so
if you want
good.
to hear Chase, you gotta pay $5. My nomination. Has everyone gone yet, or did PD? Have you gone
I
yet?
haven't, but you can go.
Okay, I'm going to nominate. It's got to be Stone Cold Eva Austin.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Autism 316.
That started with Bran leaving a comment in our Patreon live chat that I went way overboard with.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes, yeah.
All right, PD, your nomination. And you don't feel weird if you want to nominate my cousin.
Oh,
yeah, Hallahan
I
Bridges.
would, but I'm going to do my thing instead. Demon Cedric. So
dude, I was hoping someone would
the
say
Carolina Reaper.
Got to put Carolina Reaper and Demon Cedric on there.
Was it one of y'all that sent, or did I see it on Reddit where someone just was like, there's a podcast calling him the Carolina
Bran
Reaper?
sent that.
I didn't see that.
Bran, did you send it? Yeah. So it's made its way into the ether of Survivor Reddit.
That's good, because I stole that from the Panthers quarterback Bryce Young.
Nice.
He called Cedric the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, he did.
In your weekly chat with Bryce?
Yeah. He's like, man, Survivor's really crazy.
Yeah.
In r/Survivor, someone called him the Carolina Reaper, and then underneath it says making the merge reference. So we love all our little mergies.
That's right.
Little
The
mergies.
little mergies are the patrons.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What are our fans called?
The mergers.
Cheap because they don't join the Patreon.
The little mergies and the others.
The others.
And the listeners.
Oh, because making merge. You make the merge when you join the Patreon, so they're pre-mergers.
My one of my other favorite bits is just anytime Chase sends this picture.
It's the Mitch going no.
I think one of my favorite running bits of the season was me trying to talk about something serious and Jonathan trying his hardest not to laugh for no reason, just because he wants to laugh at the wrong time.
If it's a good thing this is not on video all of the time, because you'll bring up something so serious and I can't handle it. But maybe the best bit of the season is y'all just straight up abusing me every single episode.
Could be
real. I'm Jonathan being the punching bag, you know.
I want to point out something. I want to peel back the curtain a little bit. I don't know if PD will remember this or Jonathan, but towards the beginning of the season, after we were bullying you for a couple episodes, I go, all right, PD, I'm going to change up my gimmick a little bit. I'm going to try to be the punching bag to get the heat off Jonathan. And that was the episode that Mary sent in the voice memo. And
he crashed.
And I crashed out. And then everyone still didn't believe me. That's a good running bit.
Ooh.
No one believing me that I was
Bran
pretending
still
to be. Well, Bran,
Yeah,
he didn't know me well at the time. Another good running bit to cut that. You
but
can
no
always
one ever
tell
hears
when
it. No,
you can always count. You know when PD's going to cut something because he goes dead quiet and just
I'm just
sits
like
there
in
like
my
this.
head, like where's the point? Where I'm
he's calculating.
I'm
I think
like,
he's
okay,
looking at
wait,
the time.
actually, no, I need to delete this so we can start
And
get into the new thing this way. And then
he waits for a good cut point, and then he starts talking
like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. Oh, guys, what a fun Mergy Award! Now, one last segment before we start bringing this home. Bran, Jonathan, you guys didn't get to talk about the season 50 cast. Let's hear your thoughts, but keep them pretty short.
Yeah, no, I've had obviously a lot of time to think about this. I think that most Survivor fans are going to state the obvious when it comes to they shouldn't have done an even split of old era, new era. Like it was dumb. They shouldn't have done it, but they have. And so with what we have, I think it's a relatively good cast. If you are going to do a 50-50 split, new era, old era, I think it's a pretty good cast for what that is. Yeah. Do I understand the frustration of people being like, hey, this is supposed to be a celebration of the last 50 years, and for some reason we have 12 people from the past 4 years? Yeah, the frustration is valid. But
25 years total, not 50.
Yeah, sorry, 50 seasons. Jeff
started this when he was 8.
Jeff
looks so
120.
good, bro. He looks so good, man. But yeah, I think overall, with what they decided to do with the split down the middle, it's a pretty darn good cast of what that could be. So I'm going to choose not to get super frustrated by the fact that they did that. And just look at what they did with that decision and go, you know what? Overall, pretty good choices, I think.
Dude, I want to say something going off of that because I just listened to Drop Your Buffs, which is a Survivor podcast. They were on Rob Has a Podcast, and they were talking about the 50 cast, and all three of them, even Rob, even the Amazonian horn dog himself.
It's not. You're trying to make that a thing. It's not going to work.
It's going to be a thing.
It's going to be a thing. Podcast.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. And he's going to love it. And he's going to come on the show and he's going to be like, Chase, that was so funny, dude. I'm a really big fan.
Hey, it's me, the horn dog on the Making the Merge podcast.
The Amazonian horn dog.
Whoa! I think Bran just turned into a cartoon.
Okay, but they couldn't they couldn't grasp like what they were thinking when they picked so many new era players. But I think it's pretty obvious. We're going to be starting off with two tribes, a new era tribe and an old era tribe. It's right down the middle, 10 and 10.
That would mean that they don't. Well, it'd be 12 and 12.
Oh yeah, 12 and 12, whatever. That's 24. It's 22, right?
They've done 3 tribes forever. You really think they're going to break from that?
They haven't done 3 tribes forever.
Well, I mean, relatively. For like how many
in the new
seasons
era.
in a row have they done?
Yeah,
it's been like 8 or 9. You think they're going to go back?
Yeah.
It is interesting. It does seem obvious that they would do a split down the middle, but there's like a picture floating around. I don't know if you've seen this of one of the games that is currently set up right off the island, and it's 3 different bases that are it's one of the color variants that people voted on, and so people are like, that's obviously 50, and it's 3 different things, so that would lead you to believe that.
How do you split that up then?
8-8-8.
Yeah, but like thematically.
I don't think it might just be a
new
random
era.
mix.
New era versus old era feels good because you got all the new era players that may have played together, and you have all the old era players that may have played together.
What if they start as 2 tribes, and then after the first, it actually ends up getting it starts new, old, and then somehow it splits into 3.
And the one I just watched, they did that.
They did.
Goliath.
Okay. They started as 2 and went to 3. That's an interesting way to do it, because I do think there is something that's really intriguing at least for an episode to see new versus old, and then hey, let's come up with three equal tribes from there. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, to me, that's the whole appeal of the season is watching the old era, new era people interact.
Yeah.
Well, then why were you giving me such a hard time?
What was I giving you a hard time about?
I
just think there will be 3 because they've been doing 3.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
You don't trust me? You don't believe me?
Now I can't help but notice.
You don't want to take my word for it,
guys. Do y'all want to know what I think of season 50?
I guess, dude.
Do you think anything about it?
It's fine. It's cool.
You haven't seen any of the seasons.
No, this is the unique perspective that I have maybe for this. Okay, I have not seen every season of Survivor by any means, right? Like not even close. However, I did know a lot of the people that they picked for season 50.
Okay.
So maybe it's actually great what they picked because a person who is sporadically watching Survivor knows the majority of the people on it.
Yeah.
So,
really good point.
I'm a good base level for this.
It's like casual fan. Yeah, casuals like Jonathan.
Fan.
Yeah, who has a Survivor podcast. Casual fans who talk about Survivor every week.
I'm a casual fan who accidentally became much more intense of a fan. But I would say that I'm a little confused that nobody from any of the 20s seasons are in it.
I mean, as somebody who was planning on watching every season before 50 and now finds out he doesn't have to watch like half of them, I'm pretty happy.
Well, it just more confused me because I felt like if it was supposed to be like this,
it's weird.
This celebration of all of it, and then to skip an entire 10 seasons, it's a little weird.
Here's my, I guess, devil's advocate. We got a lot of returning players in the 20s.
Okay, I didn't know that.
People like Ozzy and stuff, they did play in the 20s. It's just it was a returning season for them.
Well, then there we go. I feel much better about it now.
But having 3 from 48 is unforgivable.
It is a lot.
It's unforgivable. It's so clear. It's so clear that Jeff and Co are way higher on it than the average Survivor viewer. In what they have said about that season.
They were doing ayahuasca and Igadeza, and then all of a sudden it's their favorite season ever.
There's a war. Think about the war.
I have 3 players come back from 48, man.
Hey, put Carolyn on the show. Oh wait, what did you do? Traitors? Man. Oh no, never mind.
Also, can we talk about the? Never mind. I'll talk about that later.
I also
2 of the returning.
No, go ahead. Sorry. No, brother. You go.
Two of the returning players also did Traitors. The same, like one of the same seasons as Carolyn. I don't think that was why. I just don't think Carolyn's as popular as everybody thinks she is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think you're drinking the Jeff Probst Carolyn hate Kool-Aid, Chase.
Yeah, brother. If Jeff Probst says it, it's fact, brother. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Probst. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid in Isadeza.
To play devil's advocate to what Jonathan said, though, I have talked to a couple of people that were diehard Survivor fans that have kind of given up during the new era that were intrigued by 50, and after seeing that it's a 50-50 split, and a lot of people that they are bringing back are people that have played multiple times, they're no longer interested in 50. And so I think you might lose a lot of the people that have maybe given up on Survivor because for various reasons, and they see that there's 12 people from the last few seasons and go, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but let's be real. A lot of times people say, I'm not watching that, and then the curiosity happens.
Yeah, and we got to make
end
new
up
stars
watching it
too.
Anyway.
Like,
yeah, that was my big thing is like, we had winners at war 5 years ago. 10 seasons ago, and that's kind of the classic like, hey, this is all the winners that we could fit.
I forgot about that.
And so, it's only been 5 years, it's 10 seasons later. I understand wanting it to be a celebration of every era, but we also need to create new stars. A lot of these Survivor legends were not popular or as popular as they become until their second or third time playing. So we got to bring people back. And that's why Joe, man, he's going to be the star of season 50. Dude.
There were a couple of snubs, like Sean Rector should have been on this season, absolutely.
For sure.
Although there are people that I'm really excited to see, though. Charlie was one of them that I was extremely excited they brought back. And then Aubrey I was really excited about.
All 3 players from David and Goliath, too. I
Emily,
think were great.
I was very excited to see what she does in the second season. And you know who I care very little about? D.
Yeah, PD.
Yeah, PD. Yeah, PD.
All right,
we don't
whatever.
care.
Like you guys hate a strong, outspoken Puerto Rican woman. That's fine. That's on you.
I was trying to match your attitude. You were shooting us down left and right, and I was
shooting Bran down left and right.
Well, you
get it
right,
Jonathan.
Yeah.
What is up with this bad attitude, PD? Is everything okay?
I'm defending Bran's honor.
I'm doing great, dude. I mean, D's the greatest player ever, and sometimes people don't realize it, but that doesn't bother me that much. You know, I'll just keep preaching the D
Let me
gospel.
just ask you this, PD. Do you like milk?
I do like it.
Real talk.
You do. Like, how often do you drink milk?
I like to drink almond milk at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, man.
Okay.
What?
David's going to hate that.
Chase didn't listen to our last show, obviously.
No, if I'm not on it, I'm not listening, dude.
All I'm going to say is this. As somebody who drinks more milk than most grown men do.
I'm with you, Bran.
Why are you all drinking milk?
Brother.
Dude, it's great. It's great stuff.
Why?
I love milk. I love the beverage.
Is it the taste that you enjoy?
I think it's and other like how
what milk you rocking?
So
with,
I will this is showing my age a little bit, but I gotta go with Fairlife. I gotta go Fairlife because
Fairlife's a good smooth beverage.
Totally lactose intolerant, and
are you?
Like I don't care. Like there's so much in life where I'm just like whatever, Like I'm still gonna eat pizza and just deal with it, right?
Yep.
Like I know that I'm gonna pay for it, and I'm okay with that. But with the amount of milk that I drink. Chase, and I need you to stop looking at me like this.
He's judging.
With the amount of milk that I drink, it was doing a number on me. So I had to switch to Fairlife, which I can't really tell a difference.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Bran.
Only human beings. What percentage of the population is lactose intolerant? How bad does it have to get before people start thinking, hey, maybe we're not supposed to be drinking this?
Yeah.
If everyone's allergic to it. I'm going to start wearing poison ivy jackets and be like, it really irritates me, but I power through it.
I'm not allergic to poison ivy, so.
Shut up.
Anyways, Dee had a dominant alliance, and see, the key to her taking it all the way to the end but still winning at Final Tribal was that she was able to really, she was able to bring in a lot of different people at different times.
Bran.
And then
hey, Bran, can I let you know something? I'm a whole milk man. I love whole milk. I can drink whole milk.
Big mistake.
The Reba 4.
The Reba 4.
Austin Drew D.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.